Isolation Nation, welcome to the Social Distancing Social Club. I am one of your hosts, Ben, and here's the exciting part, you guys. I made it to soundcheck today, barely, but I made it. And my God, it's exciting because you get to really like check the audio, you get to bond with everybody. It's nice. And I think it's kind of an underappreciated part of the show. So if you're ever doing a show, make it to soundcheck. That's what I recommend. It really pays dividends. It's so good to be here, but the only part that makes it good to be here is being with my friends, aka the co-hosts of this show, aka the Quarantine. And I'm about to introduce to you right now, if you don't know him yet, one of those great team members, and he's so wonderful. You know him from his 500 million now views on the internet. Please give it up for the second leg of the four-legged Quarantine, Steve Hofstetter.
Well, thank you, Ben. And while I'm talking, you can work on fixing your mic. Ladies and gentlemen, we're excited for the show as always. If you want to support the show, you can do so. You can Venmo, top right of the screen. You can PayPal, laughfromhome.com. Or, of course, you can Super Chat. You can send Super Hearts on Twitter. You can send Facebook stars. You can send telegrams. You can send envelopes with money. Whatever it is that you'd like to do to support the show. And, of course, the Patreon. If you want to join the Patreon, you can do so. Patreon.com/SDSC. And with that, the third leg of the four-legged, five-legged Quarantine. Whatever we're up to at this point. We lose track. Chris Bowers, everybody. Chris Bowers.
Hey, how we doing, everybody?
What is that jacket?
I went to the coat store today and got a new coat, so I'm very excited. I went to my coat store. Really, the only reason I came home was because I was feeling I needed some new coats. So this guy's got some flowers on it. I like this guy, right? So
it is so fantastic. Did it come with a couch cover?
Hey.
I like it. See?
Peel off the wall of a hotel in the 60s and then wrap yourself around your body.
Yeah, I didn't realize your home was Las Vegas in 1942. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, possibly, could have been.
Did Frank Sinatra step on you on the way out of the casino?
He actually tipped me $100 for wearing the coat, so I'm excited.
You're like, I went to the coat store and they were getting rid of this wallpaper, so it just worked out.
Yeah, so I'm excited to be here. I'm excited I'm a new coat. I got some fun stuff we're going to talk about later because I think my favorite thing that ever happened last night, and I'm going to talk about it. But Rachel,
just 2 minutes into the show, Steve already repeated one of my jokes. That's perfect. I love that. Do you want to explain it? The wallpaper one or no?
We didn't hear it because your mic didn't work. Hey, Rachel.
Yeah, Ben.
Out myself. I was scrambling today too, and you wouldn't know this, but I barely had time to put on a shirt before the show, but my pants are dinosaurs. So
the pants.
I feel great today.
I
Thanks.
miss them.
Wow.
Yeah, that is fantastic. And also, Ben, you may have told that joke to yourself, but you didn't tell it on air because the mic was off. So.
My bad.
Well, we did not have an overnight game. But we have a super fun game for today, and it's about my favorite thing, which is TikTok trick Trump is my favorite sentence to say I've ever said. He thought he had 1 million people coming to his rally, and 6,100 showed up. That is so amazing to me, and so because teenagers decided to get fake tickets and then not show up, and it's my favorite thing that's ever happened.
Yes.
Bowers, that's ridiculous. It wasn't just teenagers. It was me too. But that was the craziest part about it is that they didn't understand that it was going to happen. I probably got 24 messages on various social media of people being like, "Hey, here's something I did and you should do it too." Like they had to, and they were like trending TikTok videos about it, and no one on his team knew that it was happening.
Yeah, I mean that just makes me laugh. And then they didn't fill up the
Don't
thing.
read.
Yeah, that's a solid point. But anyway, so today's game is going to be make a TV show lonely. So take a TV show and make it lonely since no one was at the rally. So like an example would be How I Left Your Mother.
Is it also like 3 men and I'm sorry. Fuck. Is it 0 men and a baby? Is that lonely?
Yes.
Did they ever make that a TV show?
Yeah, I love now how Rachel mispronounces things that come from her own head now too.
She can't
I
read
would
her own
also-
super chats. That's great.
Yeah, if they did make it a TV show, I also would have accepted One Man and Zero Babies. That would have also worked. I have one, or you could do like The Home Office. Like there's tons that you could do. Just make any TV show lonely.
Yep, Dr. Quinn ran out of medicine. Woman is now staying home alone now because there's no medicine to distribute.
Ben, your mic just got a lot better, by the way.
Really?
No, not even close. It's fucking horrible.
That hurts me too.
It won't come up. My mic won't come up. It fell after the show yesterday. My recorder. I'm hoping it's my USB interface or something because this is really not cool.
By the way, that was payback for what you guys did to me yesterday. Just-
Hey Ben, the question I have, and this is a serious question. I'm curious. Do you reset everything up every day? I have one setup that's worked the whole time. Why are you still plugging shit in? We're 72 episodes in. Just have it plugged in. I don't understand why we have to.
Because Nowhere Comedy Club is 4 feet to the right, and
So you are breaking it down every day.
breaking it down. It used to be in the living room. I thought it would solve it in the office. Now I just have to reset it up, but just in a shorter distance.
Gotcha. Now you have 3 different laptops, right? You can't just have a Nowhere laptop and a regular one.
Good, but I'm trying to. It's hard to justify. I've got a brand new laptop. Don't I want to use that one for both important broadcasts that I do?
well,
So
it's been working so well. I do enjoy that mug, Ben. I absolutely do enjoy that mug. But you should, on the other side of the mug, there should be like the hug emoji. So it's like if you're happy with someone, you could turn it around.
That'd be fun.
Sure. So how do you know that's not the case? Ready? And oh, fuck you.
For my speed. Okay, fair enough.
I will grant you my audio is not great on this show, but maybe it's a bit of a blessing and a curse because if I had good audio, maybe I would have never become a prop comic. So, you know.
That's true. You wouldn't have found your
blessing for
true
all.
calling. You know,
That's correct.
everything happens for a reason. I get it, Ben. Nice work.
God works in mysterious ways. You know what I mean?
Did you say crowd work in mysterious ways? Because that should be the name of an album.
Crowd work in mysterious ways.
Next week at the Rocks.
Ways. Ooh,
That's great.
by the way, guys, my new laptop. My new webcam that Carmel got me for my birthday. I swear to God, I need to find a box to actually prove this to you. But on the box, it says on it in small print what's in the box.
You know, while we're talking about stuff that prove us right, I was at the store today when I bought my suit coat, and I found these pants with a fucking belt on them, dicks. So what do you think about that? Huh? Pants with a built-in belt, you sons of bitches. I told you it was. Look at that shit. There's pants
Did we
with
ever-
its own belt.
Did we ever say that they don't exist, or did we just say that it's stupid?
No,
Which
you
did
said
we
they don't
say?
exist. They're like, well, who buys pants? That's not a thing. That wasn't a thing that happens. I was like, every pair of pants I've ever bought had a belt on them when they came. I didn't.
Does
Right.
My apologies, Your Highness.
So they exist.
Sorry.
They exist is all I'm saying. That's my only point. Why don't we introduce the front row here?
does the belt come off?
The belt comes off the pants. Yeah, you can put the belt in other stuff.
Okay, well that's. I mean, like it's different than pants with a belt in it.
Oh, you thought it
All
was
right,
attached.
let's introduce
Is that what you're
the
saying?
front row. Ladies and gentlemen, we're always happy to have the front row with us. Of course, a lot of these folks are patrons, and we just want to shout them out. If you want to join the front row for a future episode, you can do so at laughfromhome.com, or you could win the game because you get a free ticket that way. Or you can go to the Patreon, patreon.com/SDSC. So, shout out to Christopher Capo and also to our Patreons, Jessica Keibel, Zara Bending, David Sherrill, Tam Brown, Carrie, and Frank Notaro. Thank you for joining us, all of you. And Tam, thanks for that background. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you.
I also want to bring up too, since we just introduced our front row, we had a $500 Martin Grant donation for the show from Zara.
Wow.
And she
Awesome.
said, I've spent my morning talking about how amazing Marmoset, Rhea, Penguin, and Seahorse dads are, but yours sounded like he was one of the best fathers, Steve. At the very least, we love him for supporting your comedy career. For Father's Day, this is for the Martin Grant. So
Thank you.
Awesome.
You guys are gonna make me cry. And then Ben and Bowers are gonna make fun of me for crying. It's gonna be a bad circle. It's gonna be.
We're not gonna make fun of you for crying.
I was trying to make that funny because it's too sad right now.
Little baby.
I'm you for crying, and I'm on
What was that?
how much you cry. It depends how much you cry. God.
You ever thought about doing this show from the Nowhere Comedy Club? I know it's only 4 feet away. Maybe you moved over there, it'd be better.
This is a brand new computer. How does the built-in mic not work?
Because computers aren't made for their microphone. People don't buy computers for their microphone.
I've seen it for a long time. I buy the computer for all the features. How does the iPhone have perfect microphone, cameras?
It still doesn't. It doesn't. That's why there are external things that you have to buy to add later.
This is an external thing I just bought right now.
Oh, look, life's imitating art.
It looks so bad.
Jesus Christ. We did have a new Patreon at the Isolation Nation level of Sarah Green. She's here now. So thank you, Sarah. And I think I mentioned Renee Hutchinson and Greg Gorman last time and Jenny Wheaton, but I don't know if I did, so I'm going to mention them again. So those are also patrons, on the new patrons. We're excited about them. And I think I'm going to introduce the comics. I'm going to introduce the comics right now. We have 2 great comics with us. We have Kelly Collette. Say hello, Kelly. How are you?
Sorry, hold on.
Uh-oh. That was quick, I know. That was a quick
What
transition.
happened to Kelly?
Sorry.
Hi, Kelly.
I smeared my lipstick like the Joker, and I was like, I better fix this before anybody sees me. It was real messy. Couldn't have that look on there. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hey, Kelly.
Hello.
We also have Radu Bondar's here again, returning champion. Radu, how you doing, buddy?
Hello. Hey, can you guys hear me?
Can.
Can
Yep.
you? Yeah. I've been told I look like an amalgam of Steve, Ben, and Chris together. So if you fuse all those guys, you get me.
honestly, that's a lot better looking than I would have expected.
Yeah. And we all have the same butthole, which is very convenient.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, that's that kid's book. Everybody has a butthole, right? Is that
That's why whenever I sit on a rag soaked with vodka, Steve and Bowers get drunk. It's a great drink.
I am infectious.
The wrong word to use when talking about buttholes, don't you think?
Have you ever actually done that, Ben? You ever actually had anybody put the alcohol up their butt?
I haven't actually done it on account of the fact that I have a mouth still.
Have you
No,
done
my
any?
buddy Touchlog, we did it once. He soaked the tampon in whiskey, and then his wife put it up his butt, and he pooped immediately. It was terrible.
What is your buddy's name?
Tush is his name. He's got
It's
His
Tush
name was Tushlog?
It's his last name, but that's what we call him. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
he's got
That
Tush
sounds like an
Log in his name.
yeah.
Yeah, no, he ruined a wedding once we went to this outdoor wedding, and it smelled so bad it ruined the whole wedding.
Oh my god.
Like people were walking around with Kleenexes in their noses and shit. It was
Yeah.
hilarious.
Did he smell bad?
He went to the porta pots, and it was so terrible that it just wafted over the entire wedding and ruined the whole thing. It was hilarious.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Has
porta pots at a wedding. It's already ruined. Sorry.
Right.
Oh, I agree. Hey, by the way,
Yeah.
I agree. It was. I mean, it wasn't the best wedding. I mean, it was in the middle of nowhere. It was like a camp. It was a fun wedding, but they just
Hey.
had it in a barn in the middle. It doesn't matter. Listen,
Ben,
Uh,
do your headphones work? Does your my I
Right now that I don't have headphones in, I can put them in.
oh no, I didn't notice that. I was just wishing mine wouldn't.
So funny.
dude, I'm trying my best, man. I don't know what to do.
Has anyone here
Fucking-
done has any of you done any drugs with your butt?
I
never done
have
any butt
not.
drugs.
I oddly enough, I have a mouth and an asshole, even though I only talk out of one of them.
We don't know which one that is. But,
Headphones and spike around, you get weird thoughts.
sure.
Ben, could you speak into a speak and spell first and then play that back, or maybe like a Teddy Ruxpin doll?
A yak back.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really worse than you think it is, Ben.
Yeah, if you-
You're
I mean,
better
I
off in
think-
sign
Do you have
language.
your phone? Honestly, do you have your phone? I think try it on your phone.
Okay.
I know, but it's not your fault. I'm not like mad or anything. It's just it's worse than you think it is.
We're tricking you. We're not tricking you. We promise this is real today. Rachel, while Ben's trying to figure out what he's going to do we have anything to catch up on? Let's
we do. So Kevin Johnson tipped the show $50 and said to start the night off right. So thanks, Kevin.
Kevin,
thank you.
And then Joseph Cruz $5 for General Rachel. Hat today. Sorry.
General Rachel. I like it. General
Sending
Rachel.
us into battle with dinosaur pants.
And a zebra shirt. Now, does Zara, is she on camera? Yeah, I think she has zebras on her dress.
I have literal zebras printed onto my dress.
What are you guys?
How are you?
We didn't
are
do
you
this
guys
on
doing
purpose.
this on?
No, I believe them.
Guys,
Just coordinate in the morning.
Yeah, the toughest part about this is like right before the show is even too early for Zara to be awake because of the time difference. Like this would be a very difficult coordination to do. Unless
one of Rachel's new backdrops happens to be a wall in Zara's apartment, and they're just
We'll never know. Maybe one day.
We're all giving us all hope. Okay, I'm gonna go to a comic now. It's time for a comic. We gotta do something here. Coming up next, she's one of our returning champions, one of our favorites actually. The fans love her, so we're having her back again. She's been performed at the Best of the Midwest at Laugh Fest and at the Limestone Comedy Festival. Give her very funny Collette, everybody. Woo!
Thank you so much for having me back. I really appreciate it. Give me a chance to wear my new shirt that I got. If you don't know what band this shirt is for, then you are the 18-year-old girl at Free People who sold me this shirt, right? That is, I was like, is that the Rolling Stone shirt? She's like, who? And I was like, close. It's, very so, but I thought it was cute. I, like many women, just dress for other women. I don't care if a guy thinks I look hot or not. I like if girls like my outfit. You know what I mean? Like that's when those MC Hammer pants came in back in style. We're like, we have a dirty diaper. It's fine. Girls think it's cute. We'll wear it. We didn't care. I went out with a guy one time. He told me he thought women were sexy when they wore jumpsuits, and I was like, so you like women to feel trapped? Is that what you're trying to say? If you ever put on a jumpsuit, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But one piece of advice I will offer a lot of women about buying clothes: do not order clothes on Amazon. It's the worst stuff ever. You get it in the mail, and you have all these expectations. You're like, I'm gonna look good in this. I'm gonna look like Mariah Carey. You put it on, you're like, I look like Drew Carey. What the fuck did I buy? I bought a blazer and glasses. That was my bad. And before you judge me on my taste level, I'm talking 90s Mariah, okay? I just have to specify, you know? Always be my baby Mariah. Cut off shorts, cute little top Mariah. Although I do aspire to be the level that Mariah Carey is at right now in terms of not giving a fuck about anything. Like, have you seen her performances lately? They're so good. In terms of being bad, they're so good. Like lip syncing, she's drinking a drink in the middle of a high note like a ventriloquist dummy. Like she's And then Mariah Carey's new dance move is when she takes two guys who lift her up and put her in a second location to stand. Like that's the dance move. I love it. Let me see what else. Yeah, Amazon shopping. Yeah. So a lot of guys have said really rude things to me in the past, and I just want to address some of them. Like I had a guy who told me he had a fantasy about being with twins. I was like, I feel like that's kind of rude. There's only one of me. You know, we don't have that technology yet, Kyle. Then every time he told me he had a fantasy about being with twins, I pictured him with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito, and I was like, all right. We can make this work for all of us. He was really mean to me. My friend, when we broke up, my friend told me I should get revenge on him by just dating an NBA player. She said, just go out and date an NBA player. I was like, I don't think that's something you can just go do. But go ahead and put me in that raffle or whatever. Like, I could never date an NBA player. I would just spend the entire length of the relationship taking pictures of him next to tiny things and making jokes. That's the only thing I could do. Right? And he would be my entertainment. I would be like, oh, hold that teacup up. That's going on Instagram. That's adorable. Hold on, what else? Hold this plant. It's your beanstalk. Here, hold this tiny baby. It's yours. I think that's how you date an NBA player. That was a dumb joke, right? I can admit. I'm just gonna go ahead and cross that out of my notebook. Tennis player. I'm gonna write tennis player down. Okay. That's more my speed. Okay. You guys ever take a screenshot of a text message and then accidentally send it right back to that fucking person? Have you ever done that? You're shaking your head. And you know what that means, right? You know that you're busted. Because we all know, universally know, that a screenshot means I'm talking shit about you. I'm going to send this to somebody, usually on a group chat that you're not in, right? That's what that is. I've done this so many times. I have my own defense mechanism. I want to share it with you guys. So when you see that you shot that screenshot off, just start shaming the recipient. It's beautiful. Every single time it works. You just say something like, look what you said. I had to take a picture of it and send it back to you so you could see how dumb it sounded when you said it coming through my phone. I'm a good friend. I'm trying to be a good friend, you guys. I want to be the best possible friend that I can be. Like, the best friend ever. I want it on my tombstone. You know, just say, here lies Collette, best friend, terrible driver, or whatever. I don't know, in the future. But I actually have fantasies where I take a bullet for my friends. I'm not even kidding. Like, I have dreams where someone's coming in and I'm like Bruce Willis and I'm like, just take me. It's so beautiful. I even spent the night at a cabin with a couple of my girlfriends. There were 5 of us one time. And I had a dream that night that a robber broke in and was holding us at knife point. It was like, hey, I'm only going to kill one of you. So collectively as a group, you have to decide who it's going to be. And I was like, you guys, I got this. Best friend right here, right? In my fantasy, they're all like, no, not you. You're the greatest. We love you. Take me. And the robber's like, oh, this is so cute. Squad goals. Instagram hashtag. You guys are cute. Just give me that hair. I'll let you go. But in the reality, if I told my friends that I would die for them, they'd be like, wow, you'd really do anything to get out of your share of this Airbnb, won't you? Okay, that's it for me, guys. I wasn't planning on ending on that one. Thank you so much.
Collette,
Great job.
everybody.
Thank you.
If you want to tip jar is open, of course. You can do so. Top right of the screen is our Venmo. You can PayPal, laughfromhome.com, or you can super chat. By the way, Kelly, 2 things. 1, love the Drew Carey joke. I'm wearing a Cleveland shirt right now.
Yay!
But also, the guys who lift Mariah up and put her in a new location, that's just Bowers' dream of how to get to the fridge. Like, that would just be the greatest.
They'd have to be strong. They'd have to be stronger guys, but yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah, but sure, you're just standing there on the show, and then all of a sudden they pick you up, move you over to the fridge.
Oh, dude.
Like, it'd be...
or if I was in a bar and they just picked me up and took me to another part of the bar and set me down and I could drink there, that'd be amazing. I would love
And
that.
then you get paid. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd probably hold you to
Also, I just missed the very beginning of your set, Kelly, because I was fixing my audio, but I love your Flaming Lips shirt.
Hey, Ben, nicely done. Your audio's there. Nice
Thank
work.
you.
I got this
officially
like
means-
put Vaseline on toast. Yeah, thank you.
This means this recorder is officially broken now because the other one's working now. So it fell yesterday and it's broken and that's sad. Keep going. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Rachel, you got any tips coming in?
While we wait for some tips or while I start collecting them, I just wanted to say a comment. Rob Bailey on YouTube said, I paid for another subscription to the Patreon for my daughter this Father's Day, so now we can watch Steve's new material together, even when we're across the country from one another.
Well, that is very, very sweet, and I guess I got to write some new shit then.
I feel like this is a very special episode in the like Full House kind of way. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Very
Well,
heartwarming.
Just wait until Bauer starts doing cocaine halfway through, and we have to do an intervention. Really
I would-
Let it out.
Ben's intervention is like, hey, can I have some cocaine?
Yeah, you don't need all this cocaine.
Yeah.
This is bad for you. Give me some of that cocaine.
Yeah.
You're gonna ruin it. You
No,
always
one of
ruin
my-
the cocaine.
One of my that was one of my favorite Saved by the Bells of all time, was when like the big Hollywood actor was like smoking a joint at a party, which also, by the way, the party that had like 4 people there because it was a big Hollywood party.
Sounds
Well,
accurate.
Well, drugs can mess you up, though, if you, of course, remember when Jessie Spano did diet pills and she was too excited and couldn't handle it, and then cut to like a year later, she's pole dancing and flop fishing. And
Yeah, Saved by the Bell was a prequel to Showgirls.
you better believe it. You better
That's how I
believe
learned my one dance move. Have you seen Showgirls? That's all she does.
Oh yeah.
that, and she licked the pole. That was her 2 moves. She liked to lick the pole and do that.
Which is tough because that's how she got coronavirus. So it's
Right. That's correct.
That's dead on, Kelly. That's dead on. That's hilarious. That's what she was so.
is that really what she did? I have
I
not seen the
swear to
movie.
God.
Oh, really? No, this
Yeah,
is
no,
the whole movie.
That's her
It
whole thing.
is.
She's just
There
sassy
was-
and.
There was a choreographer on set, or choreographer, or whatever. There was someone who did choreography on set, and their job was like, because she starts out and she's like, and they're like, no, this won't do. This won't do at all. She's like, and it's like, no, we got to call in a professional. Got to teach her to do this.
Steve, the choreographer wasn't your sister. What the fuck are you doing? It's for.
I told you I got to write new material. Holy shit.
And also, you know that not that they're supposed to have real sex in a movie, but they weren't even simulating real sex well, because that like floppy fish move in the pool, that would snap your dick off, right? Let's be honest about it.
I got to see this movie.
Oh my god, that was the worst scene.
That was what?
That was the worst scene. I remember I was like traumatized after seeing it. I was like, is that what we're supposed to be doing? Is that I've been doing things wrong.
If
Okay.
you think you were traumatized, just imagine how we felt watching that.
Well, that's what I love about all those like Cinemax softcore movies where there's not actually any penetration sex. It's just like the positions are so bananas. They're like standing up against a fridge. Like, is that guy's dick 11 feet long? How is that possibly getting anywhere near anything it's supposed to? I don't understand what's
I thought it seemed realistic. I don't know about
You know what's the least realistic porn out there? Are you like you never see it ever?
What?
Just a married guy fucking his married wife. I've looked for it. I Googled it for 4 hours straight. The closest I found one video that says horny wife gets fucked. And I clicked on it, but then the title expanded. It said by 9 guys.
Yeah, you can't trust a thumbnail. You can't always trust a thumbnail.
The title keeps expanding. You're like, oh, it's a cookbook.
9 guys, your wife, and chicken soup.
Radu hadn't talked in a while, and his mic is really low, and his voice is very smooth, and that was really weird at the beginning when he first just started talking there. He's like, another thing about pornography.
It's such a episode.
I think it was weird, Ben, because you just heard a mic that works.
No, he didn't have a very NPR voice. Like, today on Social Distancing Subject Club, we'll talk about pornography and the things.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But
do
hey,
call
Ben, I'm
me-
glad you're smiling again because you looked very, very angry at me just then.
I was just comedically making an angry face just to be funny, but I'm glad that I got to explain that.
They call me the They call me the
All right, let's get to some
Garrison
tips
Keeler
for
of describing porn jokes.
All right. We've got Tam in our live audience, $5. Kelly, I love the Grateful Dead shirt.
In Lake Hoboken, we have a Lake Hoboken. Okay.
Kevin
My
Johnson.
mic doesn't work, to be honest with you.
Kevin Johnson super chatted Kelly $100 and said he loved the set.
Whoa, Kevin.
Wow.
Thanks,
Wow.
Kevin. Ah!
McAllister. Love it.
We had Zara $20 and said for
Thank
the
you so
best
much.
friend and bottom bitch a girl could ask for. The No Pants crew love you, Kelly. Particularly Roz.
Oh,
Nice.
thank you. I love Zora. Sarah. The giraffes. I love the giraffes.
Savannah Martin, $10.54. Kelly, my fantasy is others would take a bullet for me and I'd let them. Honestly, it's the best policy.
Can I use that? I'm writing that
Damn.
down.
That's so funny.
Although,
Keep writing my tags, guys. I love it. Keep it going.
Savannah doesn't need anyone to.
I do wonder the conundrum that would come up for Savannah if somebody wanted to put a bullet in her or Bowers. What would she do then?
Oh, question.
I think she would just open the book and block them both.
Art.
It's magic. It's magic.
By the way, Savannah's middle name is Michelle, in case any of you are curious.
I was.
What?
Thank you.
I'm just trying to get her on the Glebe squad, and I want to know that I've been doing my own research, Savannah.
Are you making fans one at a time now?
Better believe it.
No, that's not even what's happening, Rod. No. I have one fan, and Ben's trying to steal them. That's what's trying to happen. Like Ben, I have one fan, Ben. Let me
I
have
don't know
the
that you
one
need
fan.
to say them unless Savannah's transgender. You could just say steal her. You don't need to make it seem like there's a bigger group.
I didn't want it to seem like it was ownership. I wanted to say, I don't know. It seemed weird to say her right there. I don't know why. I'm.
More tips. So Taylor, so then Joseph Cruz super chatted $50. Kelly, you're an amazing talent. I hope to see you live at some point.
Thank you. I hope I'm alive at some point too.
And then we had Renee Hutchison, $5 for Kelly.
Thank you. I feel like I have to comment on every single one. I'm sorry.
That's okay. And we're caught up.
Awesome. All right. Well, good. Do you guys want to talk about the Trump thing more? Because I'm still happy about that. He fucking had 6,000 people show up. They had 19,000 NPCs. That's
One of my favorite things. There was a tweet that listed some of the acts just last year that outdrew Trump in that same venue. And so one of them was like a West Virginian performance company of some classical music. One was
West.
John Tesh. And and one, a callback to yesterday's episode, Sha-Na Na. So that was
Nay, nay.
Shanae outdrew. Yeah, Shanae from Martin. You remember that character?
with Oinko Boinko. See where they were with Oinko Boinko, and then the Shanaes played.
I watched a fair amount of Trump's rally yesterday, and it was full of an enormous amount of typical crazy Trump shit. Like he literally at one point said, I said to him, you dumb son of a bitch. That's literally what our president said. But the most quintessential insanity statement that Trump said that you just can't understand how even his most ardent supporter is on board with this no logic flow. He literally said the following. He goes, when I shut down, hold on a second. He goes, when I shut down travel from China, okay, everyone disagreed. Joe Biden disagreed. Here's the part that's ridiculous. He goes, he ended up apologizing even though he didn't say it and the news didn't cover it. I'm sorry, what? He ended up apologizing even though he didn't say it and the news didn't cover it. And I mean, how does even an ardent supporter hear that and be like, wait a minute, but did he say it or no?
It just goes to show you how pure of soul Joe Biden is to apologize even when unnecessary.
Oh my God.
I love that.
That is amazing. I love also the excuse that the reason it was so sparsely attended was they said because of coronavirus restrictions. It's like, but everybody was packed in on the floor. Coronavirus restrictions for venues is that people have to be spaced out. Not that like you can only have a third of your capacity, but they sit on each other's lap. Like that's not the fucking restriction.
That's not the point. Yeah, it's like...
And they did say also that protesters stopped people from getting in, and we all saw it was just that one lady in the street.
Yeah, who, by the way, was in line to go into the venue, and they pulled her out of the line to arrest her.
Yeah,
like that was Yeah, it was.
Do you think they had that
And
conversation?
zero masks in there. No masks in that room.
That is not true. I saw 2.
It was like 2 masks. It was unbelievable. And then they all started putting their masks on as they walked outside. Somebody has a vast misunderstanding of what the mask does.
Do you think they had that conversation backstage after the rally, trying to like cheer him up? Because we've all comedians when we go somewhere and we undersell, and we're like, dude, the rodeo's just down the street. The Eagles are playing. Like, no one would have you did fine. You know what I mean? You did great.
Just like, come on. They're like, Terrence had a party. A lot of people went to Terrence's party.
Yes.
Which, by the way, that's a real thing someone once said to me at a venue.
Well, yeah, totally, absolutely do that, Radu, because sometimes I won't draw well. It's very rare, but I won't draw well. And they will completely either say to me, well, it's bad weather this weekend, or they'll say to me, well, it's the first good weather this weekend.
Oh, I can't tell you how many times they do the thing of like, oh, well, it's a rainy day, so people don't want to come out. Oh, well, it's snowing. Well, it was sunny earlier today.
People needed to go out. It's been bad weather for a while. They needed to go out to the parks.
Exactly. Be like, today is average weather, so it's difficult to draw. It is right there in the middle.
It's probably that, and not the fact that my multiple tweets got a maximum of 7 retweets. It's probably not that.
Yeah, it's probably not that, and the fact that the Comedy Club accident listed me as David Hoffman once. It's not that.
Oh, let me guess.
The Comedy Club called me Glenn Fleeb. That's not the problem.
Dude, I could have gone to see Glenn Fleeb. Do you sell tickets?
Oh, you guys get your name misspelled once or twice a year? It must be hard.
Oh, God.
I just perform as Rob Schneider now.
Schneider.
What I hear, guys, is they'll go 15 people. Great job. That's double from last time. You're doing well. You're gonna make it.
Yeah, or they'll tell me, "Hey, 32 people isn't bad for a Sunday," as though clubs just aren't interested in profits on Sundays.
Yeah, but I also get the other way when if I draw pretty well and they'll still try to minimize it. Where they'll be like, oh, we lost money this weekend. I'm like, what the fuck did you do last week then? Because you were 2/3 full.
Very relatable story, Steve. Did you have that conversation with them with your long dick?
Steve, I want to talk to you about how well you drew, but your dick's in the way.
Yeah, they actually wrote the note and then just had someone walk over on the dick to deliver it to me. So.
Just get one of those pulley things installed on top of it so you can get deliveries and just like.
Not to ride Steve's way too long dick for too much longer, but one time at a venue we oversold by much capacity. Like they sat 100, we had 140 people coming. And this venue never sells very well. And the bartenders are just fuming, staring at Steve, like, what am I supposed to do with all these chairs? And it's like, dude, we're keeping you alive for the month.
Yeah, similar story here. I did a show one time, and the show was very oversold. We had to turn away so many people, and the line was around the block. And I'm sure it had nothing to do with the fact that Charlie Murphy was also in the lineup, but I felt good. I felt pretty good about it. Also, I was not advertised.
on the show. I was just there to see the show, but it was around the block.
Did I say it was on a show? I was at a show once.
Yeah.
Rachel, anything to catch up on?
No, I just love that Savannah Martin popped into our live audience. I wonder why.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. We couldn't hear you for the. Can we hear you?
Your mic's worse than Ben's.
Who told you my middle name?
And I've got a team of researchers.
Was
Okay,
it me?
Savannah, you're not the only one.
Oh, okay. I think I told you that after I learned yours, but that's okay. So
I like the idea that, wait, Savannah is Ben's researcher about Savannah?
Also, I'm gonna double down and say I would let Bowers take the bullet.
She knows I'd survive it because I've got enough fat that would stop before it hit anything hard, right? So
Yes.
important. So I'm like,
I actually have a theory that every one of those jackets is Kevlar. I think that's why he wears it.
Because Bowers only wants to get shot right in the middle of the chest where the heart is.
The heart is not in the middle of the chest, Ben. It's over here.
It's in the penis, from what I've heard.
No, it's not. Dara wears
Feel my love.
That's where the brain is, Kelly, not the.
Yeah, that's sorry. I
the
confuse them
heart-
all the time. Same
where
thing.
the heart is, not where the heart on. I think Zara was showing us where the heart is. Can you correct it, Zara, since you're the medical expert here? Where is the heart?
In the middle of the chest. It's on my pit. That's where it is. It's on my pit.
That's not what I meant. You were doing something like this. Stood up and did this. You stood up and demonstrated.
Yeah.
That's what you did.
Down here?
Why are you pointing to your stomach? That makes no sense at all.
In the
She has
middle of
two
my
hearts.
tongue?
She has two hearts.
Motherfucker, center mass.
It's
That's
right
tender
here.
mass. She has a huge heart, Ben. It goes from here to here. See, that's how big Tara's heart is. It's almost her whole chest. She's all heart.
Wow.
No, they say a way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Like there was that phrase. Yeah, that's where. So it's down there.
Let's catch up on some comments that have come in.
Okay.
So Dana Z Bunster joined $50 and said, "Sorry I'm late. So I came in on Steve's long dick. Oh dear."
This is the
By the way,
first
I
time
got-
somebody's ever come on Steve's
Come on
Monday.
it.
Gotta say, there are worse running jokes for the show.
Yes, but also there almost every other joke is more satisfying from what I hear.
By the way, what I enjoy about this also, what's particularly hilarious, is you guys keep saying long and not big, which it just sounds really awkward.
What it sounds like, Steve, and probably what it looks like is this, my friend.
Yeah, it's like one
orange,
strand
too.
of Play-Doh hair.
And it's orange.
It's on brand.
Guys, it's been such an honor to be with you for these episodes. This is my last one.
This is Steve's last episode, but it'll take 6 more episodes till his dick leaves frame.
Did you just have that?
Yeah,
Yes.
I just have a Hofstadter prosthetic penis in my office.
You've been like waiting.
It was his birthday gift.
No, I think Steve sells that in his merch store. Does it have her name on it? Does it say text 484848 on it?
I fucking hate every one of you.
Text Steve Hofstadter at 469-469.
I can't.
Ben's just mad because he can only fit 2 digits of his text club on his. So
Go at the new level of our Patreon where you can fuck Steve Hofstadter while keeping social distance.
absolutely not part of the Patreon. Absolutely not.
That's not what I heard in the meeting. That's not what I heard in the meeting.
Not a road I want to go down.
Zara Bending just left frame.
I'm considering it as well.
She's like, I've studied bats and
All right.
pangolins, and this is the grossest thing I've ever.
We also had Kevin Johnson tip the show $100 more and said, "I love
Wow.
all these people's lives."
Is this Kevin Johnson, the football player? How does he have so much
He was
money?
a basketball player, but no, I don't think it's the same guy.
It might be.
There's 2 different. Yeah, there's 2.
I think there's 2 KJs.
There's a KJ.
Oh,
there's a KJ
three.
on the Texans.
There's,
too.
Three,
I guess there's
actually.
lots. Yeah, there's a running
The other
back from
KJ's
the
from
line.
way
my
back.
bad. I was thinking the Suns point guard that became the mayor of Phoenix or whatever.
That's some 90s shit. You were very old.
Yeah, I'm old.
Yeah, Radu is like, well, that was before I was born, so it's hard to
Yeah.
keep track.
Still gambled on it.
Yeah.
All right, Rach,
And
catch
then
us up.
last one, Arvin's 40 rupees and said, "Hi Steve, fan from India. I love your comedy."
Well, thank you very much. I have no idea what that's worth. But
What's the
thank you.
conversion? Yeah.
That is fantastic. All right.
Our first rupees we've gotten.
I'm going to look it up and I'm going to be like, holy fuck, I can retire.
I don't think we have to even know what it's worth. We just appreciate you being here. Your worth is not determined by your monetary value unless we do the calculation and it's really low. Then like, But like overall, thank you.
It is 52 cents, but we still love you and thank you for the support. Seriously, whether you support the show monetarily or you just support the show by watching or sharing or clicking like or all that stuff, we love y'all. So thank you.
And just to prove that I wasn't making this up, I know I'm not living that difficult to pronounce Radu Bondar life, but this is a comedy club that recently promoted one of my appearances when there was still world.
Glenn.
Glebe, everybody. Coming soon, Glenn Glebe.
I mean, I can understand why they do that. Blen is such a common name. When you said your name, they probably just assumed you meant Blen.
Do you go by Ben or Blen?
You could have probably done a better job with our campaign paraphernalia than this. I don't know what that was about.
Well, no, that's he knew eventually you were going to leave the race, so that's what he was jumping the gun.
I was gonna ask. Have you guys seen that new Ben Affleck movie? Have you guys seen that?
Oh yeah, Kelly, I'm a Blig fan.
I thought he was the best black man we ever had. And I loved him as Blair Devil as well. He was great as Blair Devil.
Blair Devil.
When you play the Tahoe Improv, they send you a limo. It's one of the great perks of that club, and that get deflated immediately when I got picked up with this sign.
Just leave it over there.
Yeah.
I ever tell you guys the story about there was a scalper at one of my shows, and I was like so excited, or I don't even know if should we not use that word anymore? There was a person selling tickets outside of one of my shows, and I was so excited because I'm like, this means I made it. I'm big enough for someone to try to resell tickets. And then he tried to resell them to me, and I was like, I have not made it. I have definitely not made it. I was like, this guy won tickets on a radio station, for sure. Like, that's what's happening right now.
And at least you didn't have to deal with this, Steve. This was a marquee also at a club recently. Come
Wait,
and
it's
see
not
the great
focused.
comedy stylings of Ben Gleb, everybody. Ben Gleb.
I love that you just have, like...
Jamie Kennedy and Ben Gleb.
If you wrong Ben in any spelling fashion, he will take a photo of it and he will shame you.
Better do that. You better know it, Papa Pompar.
That's Bondarica Radu to you.
All right, I think it's time to get to Papa Rombars and see if he has some comedy for us. Is it time? Are we
By the way, Papa Rombars, one of my favorite mall pizza joints. It's so good.
Also, Bauer, not to give you a intro tip on the air, but maybe when a guy's been trying to do comedy for the last 48 minutes, don't say now he's going to try and do some comedy for us.
No, I like it. Now we're really cooking. Now we're going to give you the real stuff. Here we go. You eat ass? You kids eat ass? Eating ass out there. Make some noise.
All right, coming up next, you heard him on XM Sirius Satellite Radio. He's a returning champion, Radu Bondar.
Me. Hello. All right. For the first couple minutes, I'm just going to play Randy Newman's Short People. No, I'm kidding. Hello, how's it going? I hope you guys are well. Hope you've been following CDC guidelines. I think those are important. I haven't fucked my wife in 4 months. It helps that she doesn't ask any day of the week. But I do think it is important to, we've all been inside. We've all been sexually unsatisfied and finding new and creative ways to masturbate. And I got to tell you, a lot of comedians I've seen, they've been doing jokes about, I learned how to suck my own dick during the quarantine. And you're a hack. You're a fat hack, okay? Because I learned how to eat my own ass. That's real commitment. If you sneeze, you're done. And I know that joke is disgusting and foul. But it's nowhere near as gross as the people that have been sneaking out and having casual sex during the pandemic. Who's been getting some pandemic pussy? You gross, disgusting human. You're the reason why all our grandmothers are dying. I had a friend who was telling me this is the best time to be on Tinder because, like, oh, dude, you're a 5 before, but now you're an 8. There's no one out there, no competition. And I'm like, are you serious? You're the grossest person I've ever met. And I saw him 2 weeks later, and he was like, I'm like, what's that? You got a little cough there? You a little sick? Maybe getting tested? He's like, look, my cough's dry, but my dick is wet. So you want? I gotta get it out there. Yeah, people are disgusting, and that's why the virus will win. But you know, I'm married. I really am married to a lovely lady. I got married at 24 years old, and when you get married young, people are very disrespectful about that. They're like, you got married at 24? Why? Are you poor? Were you gonna get her pregnant, or dad's gonna give you a job, but he also is gonna fight you? Like, why'd you get married so young? Are you stupid? Are you an idiot? Like, do you eat batteries? Are you hungry for batteries, like right now? And I was like, no, my wife is amazing. She's my soulmate. First of all, she's amazing. She's rich. She's got great eyes. You know, she's like a very kind person. She's rich as fuck. When you don't, I didn't realize this, when you don't make most of the money, and I make okay money. Ask Steve. I'm his opener. When you don't make the most of the income, you don't get to choose what's on TV. I didn't know that. I'm like a 1950s housewife. I just watch whatever, you know. I don't even know if there's a remote in the house. Just don't hit me. Whatever you want to watch. And my wife loves the Oscars, which I hate. It's the one thing I have to watch all the time whenever it's on. I have no excuses for it. I can't choose anything else. The Oscars, the reason I hate them so much, I find them offensive. If you're a smart person, they're kind of offensive. They have an award at the Oscars called Best Actor that they only give to people in movies. Are we idiots? Are we full-blown idiots, guys? We know the best actors aren't in movies. The best actors are those guys that hide a secret family for 25 years. 5 miles away from their first family. That's a great actor. People are like, oh, I wonder what those guys have been doing during the pandemic. They're fine. This is the best time for them. They've been throwing strikes over home plate for 25 years. Okay. Most of these guys have their wives convinced that they're going to Europe every other weekend, even though they're just an assistant manager at Best Buy. Do you understand the level of Academy quality acting that's going on? Fuck Daniel Day-Lewis. Oh, he pretended to be Lincoln. That was hard. These guys don't even have a trailer or an acting coach. They just have one minivan that they got to change the stick figure family on the back of. Because Susan's got the 2 kids, but, you know, Tammy's got the dog. Remember the name of the side dog? The whole thing. Here's another joke. My cousin, I'm Romanian. I'm from Romania. I was born there. Most of my family still lives there. And my cousin asked me the other day, he's been watching the news in the U.S., and he goes, what's the deal with America? Why is it so fucked up? And I was like, oh, it's the Republicans are doing stuff. They're in charge. And he goes, what's a Republican? What is that? Why is that? Why do I keep hearing that? And I was like, well, like a Republican, imagine like a rat that only fucks dead rats. Oh, that makes sense now. That checks out. My wife the other day, she was watching Downton Abbey for like a whole hour and a half straight. Silence. Nothing. Not even moving. And then she pauses it and she looks at me and she goes, hey, you never come on my face. I was like, is that show different? What do you mean? What are you talking about? And she goes, no, I was just thinking you're kind of gross, and it's something I figured you'd want to do, and other guys have done it, and you haven't, and I thought that's weird. And I go, well, I've never come on anyone's face, just to be frank. And she goes, I could have sworn when we first started dating, you came on my face once. I was like, no, wasn't me. And she just goes, well, who was that? So that's my time.
Ladies and gentlemen, Papa Rombar, everybody. Papa Rombar.
What's the name of? Go ahead. Sorry, Steve. Sorry.
I was just saying, if you guys want to tip Papa Rombar, it is Father's Day, so throw a tip to Papa. You can Venmo to the top right of the screen. You can PayPal at laughfromhome.com, or of course you can super chat. By the way, 2 things. 1, you can't do a set like that and then just drop that you're my opener. You can't. But also, I just want to let everybody know that Side Dog playing at the Roxy next week.
Oh
so
my
make
God!
Sure to check out Side Dog.
You remember the name of the side dog? It's one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. The idea that you would have a side dog is so fucking hilarious to me. I don't know why that's so funny, but goddamn, that's hilarious.
Thank you. I'm obsessed. One of my friends, the only person I've ever met that I actually had contact with a secret family. He found out his dad had a secret family, and his dad almost chose to leave him for that family, but then didn't, and then like holds it over his head all the time.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He's obviously a stand-up
Holy
comedian
shit.
now as well.
Yeah.
I should have lived with the other family.
I could have picked a better kid. He's taller than you, and he could throw the fucking football.
Holy shit.
God, that's so...
Wow.
Hey, by the way, real quick, I found one. I've only have 2 of the missed names. We had appearing this week, Chris Boners. That was fun. Notice I don't have clothes with marquees. They all have chalkboards, but that's neither here nor there. And then Chris Bowery. So I've had a couple of those.
About you.
Yeah, chalkboards. Rachel, we got any tips coming in?
We do. So starting us off, Zara, I think it was right before the set, $20 and said, there's a married couple making love porn on YouPorn, but we're all still waiting to see Radu Bondar in Cocktown.
For those that don't get the joke, we need to make sure to explain this. I told Radu when he was coming on the road with me for the first like long stretch that we did together. I told him, I was like, hey, and by the way, because of the pandemic, the only long stretch on the road that we've done together.
No, we've done.
But
two.
I was, no, but that one was like a
like a
full,
month almost.
Yeah, that was like a full out like road stretch.
Yeah.
And so I told him, I was like, look, man, you're gonna make a lot more money if you have merch. Like you should have something you sell. And he's like, well, what do you recommend? I was like, oh, it should be different for every comic. It should be personal. Should have something that kind of says you. And so then he gets there that first day and he shows me all excited. He's like, I got these hats made up. They say Cocktown. I was like, there is a joke that he does, but here's the thing. There is a joke that he does where he talks about like, that people call New Orleans like Titty City, but there's no Cocktown. That's part of the joke. So that's what the hats say. But I was like, yeah, but no one's gonna buy a hat that says Cocktown. And I don't know if you guys have ever read the book The Lorax, but boy was I wrong. There was that moment. The Lorax, you poor stupid guy, you never can tell what people will buy. I was he ran out in a week. In a fucking week. He sold all of them.
It was so funny watching Steve lose respect for his own fans. Who buys a book? Who buys a novel and a hat that says Cocktown? What is wrong with you? Fucking disgusting.
I had so much fun making fun of the hat at the end of the show, and then people would buy it just to spite me. I think like that was.
That's the only way I've
amazing.
sold. It's the only way I've sold merch. That's why the Cocktown thing worked, because I just leaned into it. The first time I ever sold merch, it was a pop socket. You know what pop sockets are? These things on the back of your phones.
Yeah.
They're so bad and so terrible. I was selling them for like $10. No one would buy them until Nikki Glazer, when I was opening for her, started telling people that you could buy them and throw them in the trash in front of me to hurt my feelings. And I sold like 40 in one night. I was like, throw them away in front of him. It'll hurt him. He'll cry.
And the joke's
All right.
on them. You just pull them out of the garbage and sell them the next show. It's amazing. It's a great. You
These
have
are
to buy
gifts
one
for
set
my
of pop
family in
sockets.
Romania now.
Full resource.
All right, Jess and our live audience tipped Radu and Kelly $15 each. So thank you.
Cool.
Wow. Thank you, Jess. That's going to be used for drugs. I don't know what Kelly's going to do with it.
I want to buy more band shirts, but I don't understand.
We had
That
Razor
is a
tip
great Kiss
$5.
shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
We had Razor tip $5 and said, Radu, can you please say, and this the delicious dish. Rachel, I really just want to see how long the guys go with sweaty balls.
And
Rachel
the
definitely
delicious dish.
Rachel definitely gave the look of not getting that reference, and
I didn't
which
get
is
that reference.
amazing. It's a
Wow.
SNL sketch where
I know
Alec
sweaty
Baldwin was
balls,
on
but
like
does he say?
NPR.
And a gas guy.
Yeah, the show is the delicious dish,
Oh,
and it's
that's
like
right,
an
that's
NPR
right, that's
type
right.
show. Yeah,
These are my sweaty balls.
So, yeah.
yeah.
There
His
it is.
character, his name is Shwetty.
The best part of our show is when we, instead of letting a joke play out, is when we explain all things. Don't let the
Dylan
joke.
Bauer's job.
Burn Glebe
All
gets
right.
it.
Okay, we have a lot to catch up on. We've got Renee $5 for antihistamines to prevent unwanted sneezes.
Forgot about
We
that
had
joke. That question.
Dana $25. So Radu, does this make you a trophy husband?
I mean, if you can look at me, you know I'm not a trophy in any sense. Maybe a
Well,
ribbon
it's
husband.
like a bowling trophy, but it's a bowling trophy, but it's a trophy.
I also just want to make clear, do not try to eat your own ass. No matter what the comedian says, okay? Please, keep 6 feet away from your own ass.
All right. On Technics, 2 Canadian for Radu. You got to remember the side dog's name.
Tough one. Dexter.
We also have Frank Notaro, $5. You cracked me up. Where can I get my Cocktown hat?
I actually figured out a drop shipping situation. So I'm gonna have like a variety of Cocktown hats available. I know my wife has been working on this for days, like incessant, like sweatshop level working. So just follow me on the.
Which is
Twitter.
perfect, by the way, because I did a video about how you had Cocktown hats like 4 months ago, and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get those ready."
You know what's funny? The only people that have asked me to, because I had like a few hats left, and it was people saw that video, and it was all people like in the UK and shit. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this because it's funny that like kind of hoity-toity, classy English people want this Cocktown hat, but like I'm losing so much money internationally shipping these goddamn dick hats.
Can I pitch something to you? Can we combine merch? Because my bags say, "Can I pet your dog?" But I think Side Dog would get so many more sales.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm just saying. I don't know what this move is. Scissor me. I don't know. But that combination of the merch.
Kelly, that was actually the original dance from Showgirls.
This is how we should do instead of handshakes, just whatever at the end of a business deal. We're like, good job.
Knock it out.
I just made my own Cocktown hat, by the way. I'm pretty excited to offer this in my merch store.
By the way, that Cocktown video was one of my proudest moments on stage, because that was when Radu started like humming about, and I was like, "Is there a Cocktown song?"
Yeah, I just started
And
going,
he just
where
go- and
everybody knows your name.
And they're always glad you came. Oh, it's pretty proud of that one.
It was like the perfect use of like Steve's like quick joke brain. You know what I mean? Just like boom, right there, and we became a musical duo, Hofstetter and Son.
Radu and the Dick. Like a morning show team.
It's Papa and the Dick.
Papa in the Dick is the craziest name for a radio show I've ever heard. I'm Papa, and I'm the Dick.
And then there's just a slide whistle.
And here's Shinedown.
My fucking slide whistle.
Shinedown's the perfect band name for that. That's hilarious.
You guys
All
like
right,
my Shinedown shirt? Anything.
I mean, it'll give you a shine down there. Okay. All right, there's the slide whistle. Yay.
Okay, we also have Randy Longmire, $5. Radu, for your next stick figure family.
I love that he assumes that was a confessional joke.
Kevin Johnson, $50. Wow, Papa.
That wasn't a confessional joke. It was an aspirational joke.
I don't have the money to cheat on my wife that way.
Don't need it.
Well, that's why you gotta sell side dog bags, Radu.
He doesn't want to be a piece of shit husband to two women. That'd be terrible.
Yeah.
Andrew, $10. Radu is quite literally daddy material if you would wear cocktown hats in public. Mad props.
I can't wear a cocktown hat and a mask because they seem like a weird juxtaposition. You know, people are like, "Are you gross or not? What's going on right now?"
David Sherrill in our live audience, $10. Radu, I'm sorry, but there's a grace period when people first start up before it's exclusive.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because the guy. My wife still doesn't remember who came with me. Every time she sees me do the joke, she goes, "I still don't know." I'm like, "Did he have a giant flat dick that covered his face? How do you not remember?"
Wait, was it Steve?
It's such a specific
It was
task.
not me, no.
It was Steve from a different state. That's like. You saw the dick. I have no idea who did the thing.
State of confusion.
And if it was Steve, you probably remember what looked like Cheese Whiz just coming at you, right? I'm sorry.
How did Ben suddenly make this worse? I don't know.
All right, Ray, catch us up before
Well, speaking of which, Savannah Martin tipped $10.39 and said, Radu, please just come on your wife's face.
Radu's like, that'll be $10.78 before I do that. By the way, I will say that on tour, so his wife joined us on tour, and having her there for him doing that joke was one of my favorite moments of my career. Like the first time, because I was convinced. I was like, oh yeah, he won't do that joke this week. Nope. Every show. It was amazing.
You only have 11 minutes. You can't leave any jokes out, Steve. What are you talking about?
Fuck.
You should hear the jokes I'm not actually allowed to tell on stage. They are so heinous. Like a UN. My wife has literally been like, she's like, I'll tell your mother what you do if you tell that joke. Like, all right, I got it. You're right. Fine.
We also had Tam tip $5 and said, thanks for the tip for not sneezing.
Yeah, don't put any pepper on your butthole before you eat it.
By the way, right after Social Distancing Social Club ends, Radu is hosting a cooking show.
Honestly, this is just so offensive. And sorry, I was trying to get that statement in when my mic wouldn't work earlier about Bauer's jacket.
We also had Stephen Trask tip $20 and said, Radu, if your wife could help my wife figure out who came on her face, we'd appreciate it.
Oh, so this is a phenomenon.
What a detective service this is. What a very specific.
Are people repressing cum shots? Is that what's happening? They're like, all right, you can do it because I'm going to take a Xanax soon. I'll forget all this.
Don't they call private detectives private dicks?
I need a good dick to help me find out what dick to my wife.
What a twist! It was him the whole time.
Come and visit us if you don't know who came and visited her.
Or him.
You want to hear the worst cum street joke I ever wrote?
Nope.
No. If you know it's bad, then we definitely don't want to hear it.
I know, yeah, it's like that.
Wait,
it's that level. You gotta hit the
Cum
Patreon.
Street, is that in Cocktown? Is that?
Yeah,
Cum Street?
Come straight. Yeah. It's in Cocktown.
it's Cum Boulevard. Okay, it's a nice part of town.
Does it run into Cum Boulevard Jr.? Yeah.
It's a cul-de-sac.
I think we have to hear the joke now, maybe.
Okay, so what is the homeless guy? Would
What?
No? Okay.
No, all right, you're right. You're right.
What is?
My dog just went up and said, no. I swear, play the go back. Just woke up and went, no. I think
it's graphic.
So
but
what
it's
else do
fun.
we have? And by the way, as someone who has toured with Radu, we don't need to hear that joke. Wait, Queen, what do we got?
Yep, so we have Joseph Cruz, $25 for Brad Bender. So good. There's no way Steve could follow you.
That is true. That is actually, I didn't even quit touring because of COVID. It was just because I couldn't follow Radu. That's why.
Yeah, he was like, this stage is disgusting, and he left a whole chicken on there. I'm not doing stand-up now.
And now we've got like 10 generals to catch up on. We had Jan Johnson, $5. Bowers, you're not fat, you're cuddly. Ben is my number one, and Steve is really sensitive, but he hides it.
Yeah, let's rank everybody.
Who said that?
Jan Johnson.
What up, Jan? January. I got one fan too.
I don't hide it well.
And then Bunst donated $5 and said, hey, Ben, I'm still waiting on my campaign buttons.
Yes, I just got your address and they're coming.
Yeah,
Coming.
So I think probably mid-February, Bunch. Mid-February we should have them.
Yeah, they're actually going to be Glebe 2024 buttons. So.
I just promised everybody that I wouldn't send them until I made sound check, so it'll happen.
We also have Renee Hutchison, $20. Amazing show today. Great follow-up to the Minnesota.
Nice. Oh, yeah, I dubbed yesterday's the Minnesota because of how mean I was. And you guys too.
Joseph Cruz, $5. The only reason they misspelled Ben's name is that he told them his name over his garbage mic and internet connection.
Wow. Amazing how Rachel's laughing so hard at that shit. Rachel's laughing so hard at that? We're just a close second, my friend.
Does Don Rickles' ghost watch this show? Like,
Rachel, who said that?
Oh, I delete. Hold on.
I'm just wondering who's gonna replace
Joseph
Radu
Cruz.
on my tour. Nicely done.
All right. Jessica Pullins tipped the show $50, distracted me from my life.
Happy to do so.
Savannah Martin, $2. Come at Bauer's jacket again one more time, Benjamin.
Listen to me, Michelle. I will never come anywhere near Bauer's jacket.
no one has. That jacket stops orgasms.
Although it does cover them up pretty well if you do happen to spill on the jacket.
Just like a hotel bedspread? Like is
Correct.
that so they don't have to clean it as much?
That's correct.
And then last one we can get to the game. So Andrew, $10. Steve, they're called private eyes. Just don't look down the barrel head on.
Is your audience usually this immature, or did I bring this out? This is something that I've done to this show.
Why is it mutually exclusive?
People are amazing.
All right, the game. The
All
game
right.
today is make a TV show lonely. So I'm gonna read 3 unpaid entries that I really like, and then we'll get to the live audience, their game entries, and we start voting from their entries on. So to start us off, I liked Abdul's "Family Doesn't Matter."
I like hearing it as Abdul's family doesn't matter.
Then Amana Sala, "Parks and Recreation is closed."
Nice.
And then that Lane Boy, "Lack of community."
I like it.
All right, and then so our game or our live
Wait, before we
audience-
do the contest, can I just show you guys something real quick? So this is, if you notice, my last name spelled wrong on this, right?
Yeah.
It's not him.
David Hofstetter.
And you know they thought David Hasselhoff was coming.
Of the 18 tickets that sold, I think 16 of them were there for David Hasselhoff, for sure.
All right, Taylor, let's go to Tam.
So I have no friends and no guys,
Nice.
a girl, and a pizza place.
Nice.
Oh, no, I like it.
Let's go to Carrie.
I have Little House on the Prairie is foreclosed.
Oh, that's a good one.
Damn.
That's good.
How about Dash Cheryl?
None of my children ever called.
Oh, that's good.
And I think those were all the private messages. Does anybody else in our Oh, Jess has her hand up.
Hi, how are you today? My
Hello.
niece
Hey,
had a
Jess.
really good. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hello?
Yeah, you
Okay,
froze
so
for a
my
second.
niece had a really good one. And she looked at me and she goes, Dora never got to leave the house. Mildly
like
funny.
the
Okay.
casual
lie.
play of your niece there, acting like I do jokes on shows all the time.
Never mind.
All right, Chris or Zara, do you guys want to do any?
I mean, Rachel, I was gonna write one, but then I got lost in your eyes on the way there.
Oh, damn.
How about my eyebrows?
Your eyebrows are like the North Star. That's how people find their way out.
Oh Lord! All right.
Uh-oh.
Game. So these are the other entries that we will be voting on. So Joseph Cruz, Game Alones. Crass Jacobs. Oh, so I think Crass Jacobs. Mr. Rogers Hermitage. Andrew, Imaginary Friends. Joseph Cruz, The Empty Place. Oh. Emily Judkins. This is a movie. Shawshank Solitary Confinement.
That was just part of the movie.
Tasha, The Last Golden Girl.
Oh, shit.
Oh, fuck.
That is good.
A the Betty White story.
30 for 30, the Betty White story.
We also had Diana, One Guy, A Studio Apartment, and a Drinking Problem.
You know, Bowers got to read for that.
Fortunately, he just walked in there and read a bunch of Jay Leno's headlines, and they said, nothing more looking for.
This one I think another audience member had too. So Adam Meisenheimer, one guy, no girl in a pizza place.
Nice.
Randy Longmire had 2, party of 1.
Nice.
And then Better Call Solitary. Then we had Diana, not part of a community. Emily Judkins, How I Met My Left Hand. Diana, Depression is a Fact of Life. Jeremy Day, The Partridge Family.
Oh, nice.
To the Rescue, A Fact of Life. CPS doesn't like foster kids working for their stay, and were taken away.
Holy fuck.
Oh, wow.
It's a mouthful.
Oh, that is a dark spinoff.
Jeremy Day, Parks and Reclusive. To the Rescue, Empty House.
Nice.
To the Rescue, Atlanta 911. It'll be a while. I'm the only one that came to work today.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God.
Jordan Burns, Cheers is closed. And then Joseph Cruz, no community.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Let's vote. Radu, what was your favorite one?
Wow, there were so many good ones. What was the one that we all just shit our pants for? That was like a long mouthful. I don't even know how to say it.
Atlanta 911.
Well, that one was really great too. Actually, I'm gonna go with that one. Yeah, Atlanta 911. I'm the only cop here. This will be a while.
All right, Kelly, what's your vote?
All right. In second place, I would say Party of One, but I'm going to give it to Imaginary Friends because it just made me laugh so hard.
Great.
All right.
Rachel.
I liked David's None of My Children Ever Call.
That's good. I liked Game Alones. That was my favorite, was Game Alones. So, Ben.
4-way tie right now.
There were some really good ones. It's tough. And our audience, our front row is qualified to win, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
I really loved How I Met My Left Hand. Especially because I'm left-handed. I really one guy, one bedroom, and a drinking problem. But the winner goes to Dash's entry, None of My Children Ever Call. So funny.
All right. That one is now ahead. And it was so difficult. The two for me were Atlanta 911 was so good, but I'm gonna go with None of My Children because just as the game works, that was just such a wonderful play. So nicely done. To claim your prize, go to laughfromhome.com and shoot us an email.
Some comments. Did you guys have any? Kelly or Radu, did you have any?
I had a couple. Sad Bob No Pants. 13 Reasons Why No One Likes You. Everyone Loves Raymond's Hot Cousin Better.
I had No One Loves Raymond.
Yeah,
So.
I went Mary Tyler No More Friends, and I think I put Married Without Children. The last thing I just wrote was Hoarders because it just seemed correct.
Perfect.
But it just seems like it worked.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Rachel, did you have any?
I didn't know that I was supposed to come up with one, but I did come up with one. It's so terrible.
Do it.
It's Seinfeld, but it's based on Jerry Seinfeld's real world dating habits, not his fictionary ones. I know, it's horrible.
Bowers, Rachel, do you guys have any?
Nope.
Bowers?
No.
Ben, do you have?
I only have 20 of them.
Okay.
I have 11. I have 11. So do you have? Do you want to go head to head or?
Sure.
All right. So let's start head to head. So you go first then.
Breaking Sad.
Nice.
Oh, I actually had Baking Sad. I said it wrong.
Monday Night Solitaire.
Sopranolonos.
The Simpson.
Damn it! My next one is The Simpson. The next one is The Simpson.
Yes. Cross it off your boggle sheet.
The Home Office.
I already did that one earlier in the show. Oh, you were probably off the screen at that point. Do another one. You have plenty.
Great. I still want to enter that one for the record.
Okay, that's yours. That's all yours.
Thank you. One Peak.
Literally, my next one was Solo Peak. But I'll just go with the Home Office.
I also had that one.
I
right.
have one too. It's the Home Office. Okay.
Nice. All right, I have Empty Your Nest.
Nice. I loved Lucy.
Actually had Lucy is okay, I guess.
I've got Veep by himself because there were only women who wanted to meet today and his wife wasn't around.
I have American Single Dad.
I've got NYPD Blue because of all the protests.
Divorced Without Children.
Home Lamp.
Mass Murder, She Wrote.
Taxi, but during a pandemic.
No Tree Hill.
The X-Files for divorce.
God damn, that's a good one.
That's
That is
the
a
best
really
one.
good one.
That's the best.
EX, that is brilliant. I have The Price for This TV Dinner Is Right.
Doctor Who has coronavirus.
And my last one, just simply Will.
I've got a few left here. I've got Seinfeld. Jeopardy, and I'll cry if I want to. Key his car and peel off. MST 3000 people crying in the corner. Broad City, but still no one to hang with. This one's just a little too real for right now. The Real World.
When one person is picked to live in a house.
Let's see what happens when people stop being polite and start, I'm so sad. Fugitive, because it must be so lonely being on the run, you know? Transparent, because I can see right through you. I've had enough and I'm leaving.
Do you have a long one?
Those long ones. I have just two. You know about long ones, don't you, Steve? Henry.
Deadpan serial
Don't
killer.
do it. Don't do it.
To his dog.
Steve's fake dick to your dog, please. Oh my god.
Oh God.
Oh God. Choked on
I have
Steve's
just two
dick.
left. Late TV shows. Beavis and But He Left. Roseanne Now.
Oh my God, great job. The
That was
X
a hell
Filed
of a
for
game.
Divorce is still one of my favorite things you've ever said.
Yeah, that was fucking perfect for
Oh,
this
that's
game,
good.
man. Nicely
Well,
done.
hey, we did it. We got through another one, guys. I'm excited. Comics, thanks so much. Radu, tell us where to find you on social media and all that kind of stuff, please.
Hey, you can find me at Radu Bondar, which is difficult to spell. So here we go. RADUBONDAR. Check it out. Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. Have a podcast coming out soon, hopefully.
Awesome.
All right, nice work.
And
Kelly,
Radu, what about your show?
Oh yes,
From Nowhere.
I have some Nowhere Comedy Club shows that I'll be hosting. I believe one is the 25th. Sean Patton opening for him. I'm hosting 2 best of Nowhere regional shows. I got Houston coming up, I believe this Thursday, and best of Chicago coming up also Friday the 26th. So that sounds like a scheduling conflict for me, but I'll figure that out. Check it out.
Chicago is coming up on the 25th. Sean Patton is on the 26th, and I don't think Houston is scheduled this week.
There we go. Either way, check those all out. Listen to Steve. First of all, listen to Steve. The reason I don't remember, I'm high right now. I'm smoking.
The exciting point of that is that obviously Radu gets around. He's from so many places. He really gets around a lot, like his wife, clearly. So.
Before Radu signs off, there's Raz has a message in Romanian that they want me to try and say to him. So
this is going to be hilarious.
This is going to be great. Abia accept setad in London. Setvad.
Să te văd în Londra. Oh, so she's saying she can't wait to see me in London, which sounds like it's a message for Steve. Honestly, better bring me to London, bitch. And that was amazing watching you try to speak Romanian because it's such an ugly language, and you did your best and made it pretty. Thank you for that.
I think.
Cool.
And I hope
Thanks,
to see
Radu.
you in London too, random fan.
Thanks, Radu. Kelly, where do we find you at? Aw.
This ducky.
He's such a dude. I love him.
Look at the nose.
He was getting so jealous of the attention. So he just had to come in and make that face. You can find me at Kelly Collette. I'm not the real estate agent. I'm the other one. Thanks, Steve, for reminding me. I think it's gonna be at Helium. I searched my hashtag the other day and it was just all her. She's just really claiming that name. Helium Comedy Club, July 30th, tentatively. But online. Cool. Sorry, he's distracting me. He gets all the attention.
Fair. Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Kelly, for coming back on. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
And with that, audience, thanks so much, guys. Oh, wait, I keep forgetting this order. Then we plug us. At Bowers Comedy, That's all you need to find me on. I'll do that. Ben, what do you got coming up?
On Tuesday, June 23rd, this coming Tuesday, I will be hosting for Judah Friedlander at Nowhere Comedy Club.
Nice.
Pretty amazing show that'll be, so please get your tickets, nowherecomedyclub.com. It's part of the Judah Friedlander Future President Tour, so I'm offended by that title. But he plays better than I do, to be honest with you. And you can follow me, Glenn Glebe, at Papa Punpar on Twitter.
Did you just cock that up?
Better believe it. I don't know how that got in my mouth. I don't know how that got in my mouth, but let's just say I do currently have a TV show with Steve Hofstetter.
Well, Ben does live about 3 miles from me, so that works. The math works.
Yep, you've heard of 3 Mile Island. This is a little bit more toxic.
Is it? Am I supposed to?
Yes.
I'm not gonna say plug something.
Do you have a long plug for it?
I have my my headlining show coming up this week at Nowhere Comedy Club. It is on Thursday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, so that people can also watch it in Europe, or it'll be early in the morning in Australia. So check that out if you get a chance. It'll be my last full set for a while I work on some new shit. Yeah, that's what I got coming up.
Very cool. Well, thanks, audience. We appreciate you guys being here yet again. We love you. You're the lifeblood of the show. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with us, and for all the tips and everything. We appreciate it so much. Queen Rachel.
Speaking of tips, there's a couple more.
Catch us up.
Sean Gibney, he's like, I know it's too late, so he tipped $5. It's too late to be a game entry, but Sesame Street Mime. And then we have Hollifer, 20 euros, and said, lovely show, sleep is overrated, greetings from Germany.
Cool.
And then
Awesome, thank you.
Bunst, $5, Ben, till you make sound check, I'm gonna be dead. All right, good night, guys.
See you, Rach.
Good night, Rachel.
Thanks again, guys, for hanging out. I had a good time. I actually needed this. I was having a little bit of a weird day, and now I'm not as much. I had some fun, and I appreciate you guys making fun of my new coat. I was hoping that you would, and you came through. So I appreciate that, and we will see you guys on Tuesday. Love you, everybody.
I certainly needed this show today. You know, anybody who follows my comedy at all knows that this is, you know, Father's Day is a very difficult day for me. And seeing, you know, not only so many people in the front row wearing stuff from the Martin Grant, which was amazing, the donations that came in, it was really great. And to be able to be, you know, distracted by, you know, laughing with some buddies about apparently a new myth about me. You know, it definitely distracted me in the best way possible. And I just want to say that, you know, there are a lot of people who are, you know, celebrating their fathers today. There are also a lot of people who miss them or who never had them. And so before you go and post on social media about how much you love your dad, if they're not on social media, just fucking call him. Just call him. What are you doing? Why are you posting something that he's never going to see? Just fucking call him. And then it won't piss off people like me.
Deleting.
Love you guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you Tuesday.
Thank you all so much for being with us, Isolation Nation. What a fun show again, as always. And you know, not to get too heavy here, but you know, it's the circle of life. Everybody at some point is going to pass away, sadly, and you know, you can only hope to be remembered. And beyond that, like, the dream would be to be able to live on and help other people make their lives better. And Steve's father lives on with this grant that is helping people every week constantly, which is pretty incredible. So I think that's a legacy that we could all wish and dream for one day. And to not end on such an emotional note like that, I will just leave you with the philosophical question that we've all heard. If Steve Hofstetter comes in a forest, does he make a sound? And I think the answer obviously is yes, and we all know that it's this sound.
What's in his hand?